Ever since I watched this movie, I have been obsessed with it. It immediately became my favorite movie and still is. The cinematography, the plot, the music, everything about the movie was phenomenal. Have you seen The Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind? In the movie, the two characters fall in love with each other. After the breakup, they erase their memories through a medical procedure, and fall in love again. If that machine was available, I'll erase the memory of watching this movie and I'll watch it again and again. I also became a big fan of Clint Eastwood and the Western genre in general. I binge-watched most of Clint Eastwood's Westerns, but in this video, I'll only talk about 10 of them. In most of these movies, Clint Eastwood plays a lone, anti-hero protagonist. You don't know much about his past or his motivations. He is extremely self-reliant, and has his own sense of morality. The most attractive thing about him is that he has confidence in his instincts and abilities, which we modern men have lost. He navigates through the rough landscapes of Wild West, often seeking vengeance, redemption, or his fortune. Clint Eastwood plays the man with no name, in an epic spaghetti western, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, in which a good bounty hunter, a bad assassin and an ugly bandit, chase $200,000 hidden in a grave. After playing Tom and Jerry the whole movie, in the end, they decide to settle the dispute with a three-way duel, the greatest showdown in the history of cinema. The entire plot takes place during the American Civil War like many westerns. The movie is essentially a satire of American westerns. For example, the good character played by Eastwood is not that good. This is the first movie of the Dollars trilogy and my second favorite of the three. The plot is fairly simple. Clint Eastwood goes to a town, plays two rival gangs against each other, gets his fortune and in the end, kills the bad guy. He also had an invisible shield of armor under his poncho in the final showdown. If you liked The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you will love it too. A prostitute is cut in the face by two men, and Clint Eastwood is hired as a bounty hunter to give her justice. The story is a complex exploration of justice, revenge, and the consequences of violence. It subverts traditional Western tropes by portraying its characters as flawed and haunted by their past actions. Eastwood's character, William Money, is a reformed outlaw forced to confront his dark history. The direction by Eastwood himself is also remarkable. He brings a sense of realism to the Wild West, showcasing its brutality and moral ambiguity. The pacing is deliberate, allowing the characters to fully develop, leading to a powerful climax. It is also reported that Eastwood had the script of this film, but waited for many years to get old enough to play this role himself. This is the second movie of the Dollars trilogy, and my least favorite among the three. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the other two are just better. In this movie, Clint Eastwood, a bounty hunter, teams up with another bounty hunter, played by Lee Van Cleef, to capture a notorious bandit. The movie is good and people love it. I personally just cannot connect with this work. Nonetheless, this movie perfected the craft of Sergio Leone as a spaghetti western director. He went on to create the greatest western movie ever. The town of Lego is plagued by corruption and vengeance. A mysterious stranger played by Clint Eastwood arrives in town, kills a few men and rapes a prostitute. The people of town ask him to protect them from a group of outlaws. What makes this film stand out is the ambiguity surrounding the protagonist. You don't know about his motivations. He comes to the town like a ghost and destroys everything. He makes a dwarf, the town sheriff and the mayor. He makes people paint the whole town with red paint. He has sex with whoever he wants. His character reminds me of Caligula, the Roman emperor. The film tells the story of Josey Wales, a Missouri farmer who joins a group of Confederate guerrillas during the Civil War, only to see his life shattered by tragedy and betrayal. Fleeing from both Union soldiers and vengeful Confederates, Josey Wales becomes a lone wanderer, battling the demons of his past while forging new bonds. Clint Eastwood's portrayal of Josey Wales is one of his most iconic roles. He brings depth and complexity to the character, showcasing Wales' transformation from a vengeful lone wolf to a protector of those he cares about. A wounded Union soldier is taken in by a group of isolated Confederate women at a boarding school. All of them somehow fall in love with him, from 12-year-old girl to the old lady of the house, who has a secret incestuous relationship with her brother. The brother died in the war. The old lady cuts his leg, supposedly to protect him, because he slept with the young ladies of the house instead of her. In the end, the 12-year-old girl poisons him with mushrooms because she felt betrayed. This is a bizarre film about female sexual competition and jealousy. Eastwood's character is both enigmatic and vulnerable. This is the most light-hearted and funny movie in this list. Clint Eastwood is a wandering cowboy. He encounters a woman pretending to be a nun. Together, they embark on a journey through Mexico. They form an unlikely bond, marked by witty banter and humor. Clint Eastwood's comedic timing is absolutely amazing. The film ends in an epic showdown and a kiss. Deputy Sheriff Walt Coogan from Arizona is tasked with bringing a prisoner back from New York. Coogan is accustomed to the wide-open spaces of the West, and his straightforward approach clashes with the chaos and complexity of the big city. He comes in clash with criminals and the city's bureaucrats. Coogan's unorthodox methods, along with his dry sense of humor, lead to several clashes with the local police. Jed Cooper, played by Clint Eastwood, is wrongly accused of cattle rustling and murder. Surviving a lynching attempt, he becomes a deputy marshal, seeking to bring the real culprits to justice. This classic Western explores themes of vigilantism and justice in the Wild West, featuring Eastwood's iconic stoicism and determination. That's it for today's video. Please subscribe,